Do you want to take a bath now? Or do you want to eat dinner first and then take a bath? If you've read a parenting book ever, you've probably been given this advice in dealing with unruly toddlers. Give them a choice to make them feel like they're choosing and give them empowerment. But either choice gets you what you want. Either they eat dinner or they take a bath. Usually it works most of the time if your toddler is not losing their shit. But most of the time, this works. They eat dinner, they take a bath, or they take a bath and eat dinner, and they feel like they have a choice. And this is just another example of why I say the parents are already marketers without even knowing it. If you have done this with your kids, congratulations, you have future paced the sale. Welcome to Market Like a Parent and Parent Like a Marketer, where we explore the connections between parenting and marketing and what one can teach us about the other. Now, I want you to know that if you are a parent, you are already a good marketer by default, because the tools that we need to raise and manage tiny humans are the same skills needed to persuade big humans. And there are so many correlations and so many lessons. That is what each episode of this podcast is designed to explore. I am Danielle Weil, founder of DW Copy, creator of LaunchFlow. I've got 4 kids. I live on a kibbutz in Israel, and we're raising them a little bit differently than your typical American family. Now, I'm an expat. I grew up in the US. We're a bilingual house. We speak Hebrew and English. And I have, for the past 20 years, run my own business, helping clients make more money from their words, teaching launch strategy, and driving sales to the tune of over $100 million. Part of what I love to do is helping business owners understand the power that they have, that marketing does not have to be a bad thing, that it does not have to be something scary or overwhelming. It can be something that they do as naturally as interacting with their kids. So if you are a parent, welcome. If you're an entrepreneur, welcome. Even if you're not a parent and you're a business owner and you want some insights on marketing, you're in the right place. Now, this episode is all about packaging and positioning. In other words, how to strategically use choice to have your ideal clients, your prospects, make the choice that you want them to make. In other words, to say some version of yes. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of how this plays out in marketing and how you can use it in your business. So we're going to get practical really, really fast here. Maybe you've seen the good, better, best pricing strategy when it comes to software. So if you are signing up for a new software tool and you go to their pricing page, you'll see a number of different packaging options. You can get the light plan, you can get the pro plan, which usually has a thing around it that says best value, or you can go with the high-end plan, the enterprise solution. There are usually 3 options, and it usually makes the most sense to take the middle one. Now, that is by design. Middle one is always the best value. The high-end option is an option for people, but it's also anchored at that price so that the middle price feels like a great value. Now, we're going to talk about price anchoring, hopefully in another episode, but what I want you to take from this is that by giving someone choices, by saying, hey, you can choose between this package and this package, choose the one that fits for you, you're essentially giving them the choice between taking a bath now or taking a bath later. Which one do I want? Oh, okay. Versus it being, do I want this or do I not want this? You increase the likelihood that someone will choose a package by giving them those options. And that is why this model works so well for software, but it can also work if you are selling coaching packages, if you're selling courses, if you're selling a membership, if you're adding a community to something that you're already doing, like a podcast, you can have different packages and different tiers. Choose one, don't say no. Another way to make that choice yes or yes is by giving payment plan options. Do you want to pay in full, or would you rather do the 2-pay option? Do you want the full pay bonus, or would you rather break that payment into 4? We can do both. It's your choice. The choice becomes not yes or no. The choice becomes, which payment option do I want? Another version, would you like to enroll now, or would you like to leave a deposit for the next time we run this, and I'll enroll you in the next cohort if the timing isn't right now? If you are on a call with a potential client, you can offer them this choice. Would you like to enroll now? Is the timing right? Or would you like to leave us a deposit for next time? Either way, the answer is yes. Now, let me preface this by saying that there are some that might construe this strategy as manipulative. Oh no, you're not giving people a real choice. You're giving them 2 options that both get you what you want. Isn't that manipulating people? Aren't you manipulating your toddler by giving them the option between, taking a bath and eating dinner? That's not a real choice. That's the illusion of choice. But here's the reframe. If you believe in what you do, if you believe in your solution, and you know that your prospect, your ideal client, the person that you're talking to, needs it and it can help them, then it is almost your obligation to lower their defenses enough to try it and find out. And if you have a risk reversal, if you have a guarantee, then it's fine. It's great. They can ask for a refund if it doesn't work for them. No harm, no foul. You're fine. We know our kid needs a bath. We know they need to eat dinner. Those 2 things are things that we know they need as parents. They do not want to take a bath right now. They do not want to eat dinner now. They want to keep playing. They want to keep playing with whatever they were doing. They're building their Legos. They're really into their game. They do not want to stop that game to go take a bath. Are you crazy? No. But will that be the best thing for them to keep playing with their toys and not take a bath and not eat dinner at the right time? Of course not. We know what they need. We are their parents. We know that this is the best thing for them. And therefore, in order to get them to do those things, we give them the illusion of choice. You're going to do both. I am going to make you do both one way or another. You get to feel like you're choosing here. But the purpose, the reason why we're doing it, is what makes the difference. We're doing it with their best interests in mind. We have their best interests at heart, and it's the same for our clients. Now, obviously, our clients have more agency than our toddlers. But for specific things, for specific problems that we are there to solve for them, we often have more perspective than they do of what the solution looks like on the other side. If you have a client that has a problem, they're suffering from a health issue, they're struggling with their marketing, they are overwhelmed, they're not profitable, they don't know what the solution looks like on the other side. They don't always know what they need. You know what they need. You know how to solve their problem. And so putting in place a structure that helps them say yes by giving them options. Do you want it this way or do you want it that way? And of course, there's going to be a guarantee, a risk reversal. If it doesn't work for you, here's what happens. We have got you covered. It is safe to say yes. Ultimately, marketing, sales is about making it safer to say yes, about making it safer to say yes than to keep doing what they're doing in their current situation. It's about removing the danger from change from something new because human beings do not like change. We don't like it when things change. It feels new and scary and uncertain, that first day of school feeling where you've got jitters and you don't know what it's going to be and you're excited, but you're also kind of terrified. That's the way we feel about change. How do we reduce that feeling and create a feeling of safety instead? The safe option is to say yes to this solution because it's going to be okay. Because this person gets me, because they got me. It is okay to say yes. And it's going to be all right. And the question is not whether or not I say yes or no. It's how I say yes. Do I take the payment option? Do I take this plan? Do I take the middle tier? Do I take the higher tier? It's all possible. It's all about choosing the thing that's going to fit your client best and fit their needs the best. Now, if you have one offer, that's fine. And sometimes not everybody is going to be a good fit for it. And if they're not a good fit, it is your business. You absolutely should tell them that. Have a qualification process in place. Have an application process. Say, no, I don't think that given your situation, you're in the right place to get the best results from this. And you are absolutely empowered to figure out who your audience is, what the criteria are for that audience, who makes a good client. They need to have a certain amount of people in their audience. They need to have a certain type of business. They need to be in a certain financial situation. And sometimes that will happen naturally. For example, I have a client who helps high school students write their college application essays and apply successfully to college. Now, she's talking to parents of high school juniors and seniors, potentially a little bit earlier, so the sophomores. But she's not necessarily talking to parents of kids in middle school. That's not her audience. And so as soon as you say college applications, they will self-select for the most part. But what we want to do is make the yes the safe option. And part of how we do that is giving them that choice. It's all in service of our clients. It's all in authenticity. It's all in alignment. So how can you frame your choices in your marketing differently? How can you create a situation where they have a choice between this way or that way, and both ways get them the result that they want? How can you change the decision that your clients are making from a yes or a no to a this way or that way? I'd love to know what you're thinking about this, how you're imagining this, how you use this technique with your kids. Funny stories are always welcome. Until next time, I'm Danielle Weil. Go out there and market like a parent and parent like a marketer.